Hello, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk. I'm from unboxings.com, and here I am unboxing Transformer. So we're just going to have a quick unboxing video before we go and...
Wait, Matt, you've got the wrong one. Look, you want to try this one. Not this one.
Oh, it's better. Yeah. Whoops. Hello, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk and from unboxings.com. Here I am looking at the Asus EEE Pad Transformer. I'm going to have a quick unboxing video before we go ahead and do our full review. So we're going to pop inside. As we know, this one is a combination of tablet and like netbook or notebook PC. So the tablet part is there inside. I'm going to come back to that in just a second as we get all the other accessories out of the box. So also in here we have the keyboard component, which again we'll come back to in a second. Then we have underneath the tips for using, warranty card, user manual, and user manual twice. So we have it certainly in English there, and then also in English. So two manuals for some reason. Let's just push those to one side. We then have a charger, which is a USB charger, so it's got a USB connector on one side, and the other side goes with this bit, as you see there, the UK 3-pin plug, and that's your charging unit. And then finally we have a USB to proprietary connector, very similar to that you find on the iPod or the iPhone and indeed the iPad. Not compatible, but very similar in sort of style. But that's the sync and charge cable. And that's everything we find in the box itself. We'll just push all these out of the way for a moment. I'm going to start with the keyboard first of all. So we're all wrapped up here. I'll carefully unpack this. Now, I don't think it's any coincidence, really, that the styling of the packaging and the box and the charger and everything else is very similar to the iPad and indeed many Apple products. But there we go. So this is the keyboard unit itself, with a full QWERTY keyboard, with all the top row of controls for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, the display brightness, auto brightness, and then shortcuts for camera, web, settings, media controls and volume controls and so on. So that's your full QWERTY keyboard. Incidentally, this one is almost like a bronze colour. In fact, you can really appreciate that through the video, but it's a sort of metallic-y bronze colour, which is quite nice. It's quite different. On this side we have the connector there, which is where this cable can plug in to the sync and charge. We have a cover here, which is quite difficult to remain open. So here we are demonstrating one of the issues there. So that's your USB connector. It's a standard USB. On the other side, well, around the front, nothing to see. On the other side we have a full-size SD card slot with a blanking plate, and then again, tricky, there we go, another USB connector. So this back portion here, as you can see, is the angle poise part for the hinge mechanism, and in that you actually have the lock and unlock mechanism for the screen or the tablet component. And really that's everything to see within the keyboard unit. There's no other controls and bits and pieces around the outsides. That's everything you see there. So that's quite neat. And the styling, again, nice textured back. It's a little bit different with the rubber feet on the bottom and curved styling. Again, kind of similar to the iPad. So whether that's intentional or not. So let's take a look at the tablet. So we've got a tablet component, which we just slide out. There we go. So it's a pretty large, generous tablet, widescreen, 10.1 inch. So it does seem quite a bit bigger than the iPad, which I'm used to, and there is quite a reasonably large bezel around the outside. And being sort of a widescreen, Just makes it feel that bit longer, whereas the iPad is obviously a 4.3. We have a built-in camera on the front, forward facing, and obviously it's full touchscreen. Around the outside, have a power button and up and down volume control. On the bottom, there is that connector, which is again where we would plug in the dock cable, and then a couple of little latches there which latch it into the keyboard part. Have a micro SD card reader, so when used with the actual keyboard component we can use micro SD and full-size SD memory cards, which is great. We have a mini HDMI connector and then a microphone and speaker connector, headphone connector rather. I think around here, and we're back to the beginning. There are tiny little grills on either side, which become very difficult to make out. They're very discreet, which are the speakers. So that's taken us all the way around. And on the back, we have another camera, which I believe is just a 1.3 megapixel camera. Full spec what I've been given in front of me doesn't actually list it out. The display is 1280 by 800 pixels, which I think is a really good resolution. It's a bit higher resolution, quite a bit higher resolution in fact, than the iPad. And I like the density of high-res display, the resolution of the display. We're running Android 3.0 Honeycomb. We have a 1 GHz dual-core processor, which is Tegra 2 chipset. As I say, the micro SD card slot on side supports 32 gig, as does the SD card, full-size SD card in the keyboard. There's 16 gigs of internal memory as well. 10.1 inch display is full capacitive touchscreen. There's also, it's actually got Gorilla Glass on the front. In terms of everything else, well, we've got built-in GPS, supporting assisted GPS, Wi-Fi supporting 802.11bg and N standards, and you know, things like that, Google Maps and everything else installed. Battery life is listed at 16 hours when docked, and 9.6 hours out of the dock, so presumably there is additional battery in the dock unit itself. Weight 680 grams, quite weighty, and again, design and styling is very, in my opinion, very similar to the iPad. This curved back, sharp edges which are metallic, and then obviously the bezel and display around the front. In terms of size, 271mm wide, 176mm from top to bottom, and at its widest point, right in the middle of the back, taking into account of the curve, it's fresh and under 13mm. Pops into the dock, so let's do that now. To get into the dock, it just simply pops in like so, and there we go, locks in, lock it in place, and we've converted it then to a notebook, which is a really nice design actually, I believe. It's a pretty attractive looking notebook, or netbook in its own right, and when it's closed up, it's not terribly heavy. I'm not sure what the docked weight is actually. I would say it's probably twice the weight of the tablet on its own, so probably around 1.2 kilos, something like that. But I think the design is really attractive, very different in terms of colouring, and as a concept with the two together. If you can imagine putting two, almost like putting two iPads together. But I'm going to take it out of the dock now, so we can just have a quick look through the setup. So first of all, it's asking us to set up the language. So we'll use English United States for now, for simplicity's sake. Keyboard, it's looking at setting up the keyboard. So we've got the Asus keyboard and active input methods, which we're going to just select the UK and the US, sorry, and set up a Wi-Fi network. Really huge keyboard when it's touchscreen. And whether or not we've got the G sensor for orienting, no, not right now. So maybe actually once we've got past the setup stage, which would be pretty common. So let's go ahead and put in the Wi-Fi, and then we'll go ahead and connect. There we go, and we're connected. And we'll just go through the setup here. It's very reflective screen, as you can see. Obviously I've got a lot of lighting in here when I'm doing a video, so that you can actually see what we're, see the products that we're reviewing, and normally we can kind of angle it to pick up just the right, but it's an extremely reflective display. So very much surprisingly so. I think that might be partly to do with the black iron Gorilla Glass being a bit more reflective, but we'll try and get it to, so we just angle it just right. So we'll sign in with my Google account, which is it's pretty much insisting upon. One thing that as an iPad user I'm immediately impressed with is the keyboard. Now I really haven't got a great deal against the iPad keyboard, except for one thing, and that is that there are only 4 rows of keys on the iPad keyboard, and in order to use the number keys on the iPad keyboard you have to use a symbol or shift function in order to get numeric keys, which I find kind of annoying, doing quite a bit of typing on the iPad, whereas this with the 5 rows of keys has a proper dedicated row of numeric keys. So I like that, that's an advantage. Let's just see if we can sign into the Google account here. Okay, done. Restoring data. I'm not sure what it's restoring exactly. Let's come up and set the time. We've got a home and a menu button there inside. There's a new update already available, and it looks like we have the G sensor there set up. So nice home screen, 0 emails there, time in the corner, Google search and voice search in the corner there as well, giving me an approximate location, not too far out actually. The weather, nice colour home screen. The display itself is extremely sharp and bright, which I think is perhaps apparent in that once the display has come onto full brightness here, he says as it backlight times out, once it's into full brightness here as it is, it's made an immediate difference to the video. At the bottom we've got some shortcuts, so we've got the browser, YouTube, My Library, My Net, My Cloud, Music Gallery and Gmail. There's an application restored in here, so it must have automatically downloaded through Android Market, and indeed it's set up my Gmail account already, having signed into the Google account. Really nice email client and display here. So we've got all of the folders down the side and all of the emails here with a little preview of like a one sentence or one line of the text. If we go back home, we also have a little notification bar in the corner which is saying about downloads, which I can just tap on, and there's an update that's already available for us, which I've managed to pop into album, sorry. So we've got the time in digital format, which is I guess a little bit, well, it's not totally redundant actually because time isn't up here. So we've got time in the corner, date up here, signal strength and battery capacity. There's the back button, home button and menu button, and this button actually basically, it's right where the menu brings up the active windows. So in terms of like the multitasking, it brings up the windows that are active. We can swipe across, so we've got another panel. So here we've got Press Reader, Polaris and Maps, Places and Android Market. So we're going to pop into Android Market and see what that looks like on tablet. We'll accept the terms and conditions. There we go, so we have the tablet version of Android Market, which is listing apps, games for example, my apps up in the corner. So it shows me the things that I've previously downloaded and things that are available for update. So there's an update for Google Maps installed, and not installed is the update for YouTube and the ROM Manager Clockwork mod that I've previously purchased through the store, or the market I should say. If we go back home, in the corner we've got apps, so this full list of applications. Pre-installed you'll see Amazon Kindle, which is great. I can imagine people using this as a, as an ebook reader. We've got the maps as well, file manager, a few other bits and pieces, and then we've got a list of my apps there, which are those that you've downloaded. We can actually go straight into the Android store as well, Android Market rather, up in the corner. So there's our list of apps. If there were more, we could actually scroll through, and actually it's showing down the bottom home screen. So we could actually scroll through for additional applications, and we go into settings menu from here. Again, it's because we've got the real estate on the tablet, we've got the different categories down the side and the individual items within those categories. So we could, in wireless and networks, got that listed down the side. Storage, for example, would change and actually list the storage information as well. Again, going back home, swiping through, we've got to the edge there, back this way. So we've got 5 screens that we could play with. In terms of what you could get on the screens as well, as you can see here, there's an awful lot of space for our shortcuts if we want them, and if we go over to a blank one, we could add in additional items here. So we've got different widgets that we could add in, application shortcuts, wallpapers, and more. Under widgets, looks like we've got some interesting stuff here. So you've got, it's a nice display of it as well, because you actually get to see a preview of what you're going to see on through the widget. So we've got these different styles of calendars and clocks. We've got bookmarks we could have on there. We've got friends, like a looks like what is that? That is like a Twitter or like a version of FriendStream. We've got email, so that's a proper email account. Whereas then we also got Gmail or Gmail there. Google search and Google Maps, calendar, places, and a few other things there that we could play with. So there's plenty to allow us to actually customize, and you'll notice how that zooms around as we swipe through, and we went into the settings as we did there, which we'll just go back in to one of these for a moment, and how the display when you go in and out actually moves around. It's pretty cool. We will just take a quick look at the browser. I suspect that an awful lot of people will want a tablet like this, and will specifically want Android for the fact that we have and a flash player available. It's not installed here just at the moment. We could go ahead and download it and install it, or we'll accept it. So there we go. It's not going to take terribly long to install, and while it's doing that, we're going to go and take a look at the browser anyway and type in the address. And we do a search for our site. There you go. Click on the link. It's pretty quick. You can see the progress bar moving rather quickly along the top. As always, I'm using broadband and a Wi-Fi connection, but it's loading very quickly. Pages rendered rather nicely, and as there is such a generous number of pixels, 1280 by 800 pixels, there's plenty of room to view the web, and plenty of space and plenty of pixels available to render the text nice and crisply. If we turn the device, I nearly said handset, tablet of course, we can look at it this way round. Again, there's plenty of real estate on that display for us to read it this way round and this way round. So either way that you choose to use it, it's exceptionally good. 2 finger zooming in and out, and it's very, I would say it's a pin sharp display, very good. Going back into here, we could take a look at YouTube. So we've got the YouTube client, we'll search YouTube for the OD, which will come up with a suggestion, the OD unboxing. The OD again being my YouTube alias. Really nicely laid out through the YouTube client, as you can see here, with thumbnails for all of the videos that are available through there, and we can go through all the videos over a period of time. Incidentally, if you want to take a look at my YouTube channel, Leodee, Leodee is what to look for. We have well over 500 unboxing videos and demos and preview videos in there, mainly unboxing videos, but obviously lots of demos in there as well. So that's really cool, really like the way that works. Let's just pick one of these just for fun, any one. There we go, it's buffering away, it's giving us some related videos around the side, comments and information underneath. Buffering is taking longer than I would have thought actually, but there we go. And presumably we could play and pause, double tap for full screen. There we go. An unboxing video in an unboxing video. We just need to get to the right point of that video to have an unboxing video in an unboxing video in an unboxing video. That would be quite cool. So there we go. In terms of other apps, let's just see what else we have. We have the camera. Let's take a look at the camera app. And well, all we really have to hand, quite honestly, is the keyboard to take a picture of. There we go. Ta-da. So let's take a quick shot. There we go. So once the focus worked, took a picture, then we could flip round to the forward facing camera and back to the rear facing camera. So camera app is pretty straightforward, pretty standard. We can do video recording, auto white balance, settings, and zoom controls on the side as well. Get back home. So there we go. Move that out of the way again. And take a look at the other apps. I think we've got a few other things on here. Let's just take a quick look at the Google Maps. Picking up the location already, accuracy to within 30 meters. Pretty good. As you can see, really fast at zooming around. This is the latest version of the maps. Allows us to two fingers to twist as well as to zoom. That's quite cool. And as I say, it already picked up the location, which is quite impressive in itself, in that we are indoors. Not all handsets like picking up a signal indoors. So that is a quick look at the Asus EEE Transformer. We will have a full review for you over the next couple of weeks. It is hopefully going to be pretty in depth for you, because it will be, I think, our first look at Android 3.0 Honeycomb. So there's a lot to talk about and a lot to look at, and obviously with the combination of the keyboard and the tablet, hence the name Transformer, obviously, means that there is plenty to play with. We'll have that full review for you over the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's twitter.com/TracyandMatt or facebook.com/TracyandMatt.co.uk. Please follow us, ask us any questions, get in touch with us if you want to ask us any questions about this or any other things that you've seen us reviewing or unboxing lately. Be happy to talk to you, and we really encourage you to actually follow us and interact with us. But I'll be back soon with some more videos and reviews on TracyandMatt.co.uk. But for now, thanks for watching.